Yep, here we go.
Okay.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? The Menopause Queen here from PowHer Hour 2.0. We're coming to you live today from Las Vegas. And you know what? We have a topic that we'd love to talk about. And you know what? I know it's on everybody's mind. So let's discuss this a little bit. Oops. Okay. Coldplay's Kiss Cam. Woohoo! Wow, I love it. They're either shy or they were having an affair. So this is what we're going to discuss today. So I want to welcome everybody here. It's funny because they were saying Coldplay hasn't had a new hit in 2 years, and here he's got two new singles right here.
That's funny.
Oh my God, I think it
Well,
is.
Anyway,
come on, Lisa. I know you want to jump
okay,
in.
this is a serious subject, and I think, this is part of kind of our PowHer Hour 2.0 that we've been desiring to bring out, which is just having these creative conversations around real life situations and circumstances. And we know that social media has this ability to expose people at all levels, right? And so it can either, it's kind of like money, right? They say money exposes you and shows you or makes you more of what you already are.
Right.
So if you're an amazing person and you come into a tremendous amount of money, you just become more amazing. And if you're a douchebag, you just become more of a douchebag, right? So it really, it expands who you already are.
Right.
And I think that's, we've been endeavoring to, it's been on our hearts for a minute that we wanted to try to expand our PowHer Hour into more than just menopause.
Absolutely.
And it's because, of our different ages, our experiences in life that we've had, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the trials, the tribulations, the triumphs, the different things that have made us the women that we are today.
Absolutely.
And we don't have regrets about that.
not at all.
It's helped shape us and bring us to the space that we're in, to where we're able to have these conversations around different topics that are trending.
Right.
So I came over to Renee's. Veronica's in town. We had an amazing day at the lake yesterday, and it's been great to be together.
Yeah.
And so this morning, you can't help, oh my gosh, I have chills all over my body, but wake up and look at your social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and see this couple that was at this concert, apparently, that were on this camera called the Kiss Cam, you would know. And that, and we're publicly exposed.
Yeah.
And now it's a huge
Crazy.
thing because this gentleman has and I say that lightly because in my world, he's not a gentleman. He's actually a guy. Okay. Not a gentleman, because gentlemen would not do this. So I don't really think he's a gentleman. I think he's a guy. So this guy, apparently is a CEO of a $1 billion company. He's got a board, and this woman is a part of the HR, running the HR, right? And he's married. He's got, I believe, 3 children. So I'm trying to follow the story and get kind of put the pieces together.
Yeah.
But I can't help not see it because it's everywhere. And you don't watch news, and I don't watch news, and you've been traveling. So
Popping up everywhere.
It's everywhere. So I said on my Facebook today, because AI and there's all these memes and this, that, and the other. I said on AI today, I said, saw all the stuff, and I said on my post, I said, I'm curious to know how people feel about this subject, because, recently I had dealt with something similar. And so I wanted to know, how do people feel about cheating these days? Is it widely accepted? There's swingers now. There's open marriages.
There's always swingers. There's always been open marriage.
Yeah. So, Renee, maybe you could get up on that and just like how to do this right. Because I think a lot of people are saying this is okay and that he should be able to cheat. And let him cheat in peace.
But we don't know the dynamics of their marriage. We don't know if they have an open marriage or if it really is a specific situation. I don't think cheating's okay anytime. In my book, it's not. I think it's, against the greater good of a relationship. I think it only causes distraction and hard feelings and sadness and grief and all the things that go with it. And I know because I've been cheated on over the years, so I know how that feels personally. And it's different for everybody. So I don't think it's okay. Personally, that's my stance, period. Is cheating is not okay. But we don't know the other side of the situation.
Right.
So, you know, the way they reacted though in the photo on the kiss cam, I don't think they planned on getting caught. Because, you know, they're throwing everything up.
Isn't that what cheating is? Right? It's hiding, right? So it is a form of lying and being deceptive, right? So with that said, they obviously got caught. They got exposed. They probably would have continued to cheat, hide, you know what I'm saying? Fake, you know, this relationship.
Right.
Obviously there were people around them. It looked like the girl didn't want to hear it. I mean, I don't know if you looked at the video.
Yeah.
We looked at it a couple times, but she's got her hand up to her ear like she doesn't want to hear it, and her thumb down.
Yeah.
And sometimes our bodies go into these kind of, you know, physical you know, mood threads or something, responses. Yeah.
Because it's like the power of the positive nod.
Yeah.
You know, if you want a positive response, you're nodding your head up and down. But when people are out of alignment, they'll be telling a lie. They'll be saying, "Oh yeah, this is wonderful," and be nodding. You know, no, if they're not in agreement.
I really love you.
You talk about the dynamics of his marriage. You don't know how the wife was.
Right.
You know how she's going through menopause issues.
Yeah,
I know we talk a lot about menopause, and you know if that had an effect on their marriage, you know, but
We don't know.
Who are we to judge?
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
But I
So,
think it's
you know,
interesting to bring it up because it is all over social media today.
Yeah.
And, you know, so we can talk about the fact that, you know, put it in your brain. Think about the choices that you feel comfortable with or you feel are right. Some people feel cheating's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. And I think a lot of people don't, but some people don't feel like there's a betrayal to cheating. I do.
yeah,
I do.
Yeah, and like I said, you don't know the circumstances behind the other one. You don't know if she's, you know, told her husband, "Hey,
it's
if
okay,"
you
or
be in my life, I'm going to find somebody else
Right.
who will be in my
Right.
life." So again, definitely, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's why I was bringing up the open marriages because there are a lot of people now. We hear about it more so polyamory.
Yeah.
You know, people are not monogamous. Some people are monogamous. You know, they want one partner. They are monogamous people.
Well,
and then there's other people that are
monogamous.
Okay.
One partner at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Didn't even know that.
Well, yeah, because if you know, we've had lots of different relationships in our lives. So if you think you've had more than one person in your life, but one person at a time.
Gotcha.
So a serial monogamous, you know, one person at a time is good for that.
You mean in that week? I'm trying to understand.
No. I mean, one relationship, 6 months relationship,
Spell it out for this young one.
No. So, I mean, finish a relationship before you move on to the next one. So, yeah.
So, I mean, you know, and then how do you think, okay, if you do, because this was also my big question. I was made aware of some stuff that was going on where people were, you know, they were committing adultery. One was married for many years and, you know, the other one supposedly had a girlfriend that now became a, you know, whatever, fiance, all that stuff. So whatever the issue is, do you think knowing about it, like, do we have a responsibility if we know about it that we see something, we say something, or we don't say anything? Because I think there's a lot of people that kind of go, "Oh, I don't want to get involved.
Right.
I don't want to know about it. I don't want to see it." You know, and they're okay with it. What are your thoughts on that, ladies?
You know what if that individual is coming to you and say, "Hey, you know, hey, let's go out on a date. Let's do this. Let's do that." And knowing that that individual, that guy, we'll use a guy, said that to you, would you tell his wife? I mean, I have years ago been in a situation like that where I actually said something and the wife became the enemy of me.
Yeah.
And you
Interesting.
know, it was just, I mean, we're talking, you know, 30 years ago.
Right.
So yeah, that's another
Well, that happened
possibility
to me
as
when
well.
when I was growing up. And I was a teenager, a young teenager. I remember telling a girlfriend that her boyfriend hit on me.
Yeah.
And she hated me for years. In fact, she didn't call up and apologize to me until she was in her 40s. She found me on Facebook and finally called me to apologize that she ruined our friendship that we had had for like 10 years since we were little kids.
Yeah, where there's that saying, bros before hoes, or hoes before bros, or whatever it is. So So yeah, I wonder, so what do you think women, what do you think? Do you think women, if you see something, do you say something? I want to know in the comments, please drop them.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yes,
Yeah, do you think it's our responsibility to say something? Or I had one friend today that said, no, I think leave these people in peace and let them cheat in peace. Do you think that
I don't think it's our business to spill the beans. I don't think that's our responsibility.
yes, right.
But I mean, we don't have to. It's all over social media.
Right.
So,
So
Situation.
honest to
themselves
themselves.
has done it. Yeah,
You know,
they've done it
be
to
honest
themselves.
to themselves. If
Yeah.
you feel that, you know, your relationship is bad over here and you want to do something about it, move on.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not happy in a marriage and you have children, why should you be unhappy and make your children unhappy when they would be so much more better, you know, amicably.
Well,
You
they
could
would flourish more. Yeah.
You could co-parent and amicably you know, get along with one another, and the children see this, and your children won't they won't suffer as much as
Right.
well.
Well, you know, I believe friends forever.
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of know my belief is, you know, if you're with somebody and you love them, then why can't you be friends forever?
Right,
You
right.
may not be together forever, but friends forever should not be a choice. You love that person dearly at one time if you were able to give them that relationship.
Yeah.
So you should be able to be friends forever, and friends of their
Yeah, I
friends
think
and friends
so.
of their family. And it shouldn't be a big deal. I think it should be, you know, all inclusive in your life.
I also know that if you have, you know, several marriages under your belt, you do it until you get it right.
My mom always said that. My mom always said that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I don't think, you know, J-Lo's on her 5th marriage. She's looking for her 5th partner.
Wow.
You know, I'm going to be on my 3rd. Hopefully it's the last go around. So, but you know, with that said, I think there's a real topic. I hope that what this does is it allows for more conversation to happen around this subject, because when you brought up about the fact that if you're in a marriage, you know, you should want to try to do some sort of reconciliation, get along, right?
Right.
And if there's dissension and strife in the home and the children are having to be raised in that becomes an environment that's toxic for everyone
everybody.
that's involved. And we know
Agreed,
that's not healthy as well. So if that's the case, then I think there needs to be more conversation. Maybe this is a good, I mean, you know, everything hidden, it eventually gets brought to light, you know, eventually you get exposed, eventually it all comes out anyway.
Well, and they have
you know?
choices. I mean, they can do marriage therapy, they can do counseling, you know, even family therapy when a lot of damage has already been done, you know, so that everybody participates in the healing part of that. And then on an individual basis too, maybe it's something individually that people need some counseling and some therapy for. So I think they have a lot of choices.
Absolutely.
But I
And
don't-
so much is available these days.
Right.
Now you
Yeah.
got so much
Yeah.
available.
So much.
I know. I feel that there's a fear there. They're afraid of like what may happen or what they may lose or what this one gains. And I just see a big fear, and they just like, they can't make a decision. They're sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
They don't know whether to jump or the grass is greener over here, you know?
And then that puts them into, you're saying, positions that become compromising
Yes.
for them going outside of the marriage bed or outside of that relationship.
Absolutely.
I also, you know, I think that I've seen relationships. I was even in a relationship where, you know, I married a man that cheated on me, reconciled that relationship. And I do believe that you can do that. You can rewire, you know, your brain, you can forgive, there are ways to heal things. There's lots of relationships, I'm sure, that have had, you know, sexual improprieties like this and have went through it, you know, in fact, survived it. And I think that there's even a statistic around that where it's like it's a very high statistic of men that actually cheat on their wives that leave their wives. It's a very, very low, it's like less than 2% or it's less than like 4. I'm going to look it up because it's been a while, but I did do some research on that because I wanted to know, well, like if men are married and then they get a mistress, how oftentimes do they actually leave their wife?
I think it's very low.
Yeah, very, very low.
low.
I think it's like less than 2%. It's a crazy
It's
amount.
more of an escape issue in that situation. You know, they don't want to lose it all. They don't want to lose half of whatever they have. They don't want to step away from
keeper.
Cheaper to keep her. So
You know what, too? We watched a show last night, and this was really good because I was doing something else, and then it piqued my interest. I turned around, and we were watching Jolene.
Jolene.
So
Dolly
with
Parton
Dolly Parton,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here, the woman kept thinking because this guy's saying Jolene, Jolene in his dreams and saying her name out loud, she's thinking that he's having an affair with Jolene.
Oh,
But
okay.
here the thing is, he drove up to the bar where Jolene's playing, and he thought about going in, but he didn't. But there was an issue in his marriage. And, you know, her confronting Jolene, she's like, you're crazy. And you know what? It hurt their relationship in the beginning.
Right.
However, she said, confront your husband. Say something to your husband. And what she did. She talked to her husband, and he's like, you know what? I had a thought. We're having issues. You know,
He felt old.
Yeah,
He felt old. So it was exciting. The thought about it was exciting.
Yeah, it was more of the fantasy play. Yeah.
So they worked it out, and here she came back later and said, you know what, I'm really sorry. You know, nothing, I understand now, nothing was happening. But that's the thing. You get to the 7-year itch, or you're feeling old and you don't feel great. And it's just like, you know, you're going through your menopause
Right.
issues.
That's a huge part of this too, which is
Absolutely.
interesting. Yeah.
Menopause
It worked
crazy.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, because women, you know, with the whole menopause piece, it's all hormonal. And then, of
Right.
course, they don't want to, they have no sex drive,
Right.
no libido. And then also, too, you know, they have vaginal dryness and all these
Right.
different
Yep.
things where they don't even want to be intimate with their
Right.
partners. And the thing is that men think it's them, but it's not, right? So
Right.
there is that piece to it as
So
well.
put the blame on the women
Yes.
as well,
Yeah.
just as
Yeah.
much. And
Right.
they're, well, she's, you know, she's a witch. I'm going to go out and find someone who's just
Yeah.
going to do whatever they want to do with me.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
you know what? I think this conversation has been so interesting
Yes.
today. And I know this Monday we're going to be talking about
Yes.
relationships.
Yes.
We're going to be giving some goodies away for
Yes.
those that come live.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m.
Eastern.
Eastern time
Yeah.
on PowHer Hour .me. And join us Monday, this
Yes.
Monday, where we are going to continue the conversation
Yes.
about you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Baby.
it was great seeing
Yeah.
you.
Everybody have a great
Quickie.
weekend.
Had a
great
nice little
weekend.
quickie, and yes, have
Yes.
an absolutely amazing weekend. We'll see everybody here.
Bye.
Monday.
Comment,
Same place,
comment,
same
comment.
time.
Comment.